Good morning. I thought I was going to have to open by making a big production about my chapped lips, but this camera is super forgiving so they don't look nearly as bad on the computer as they do in person. In person, they look like she's making out with a vacuum hose. Today we're going to talk some more about how to Christmas party like an alcoholic. On the 5th week of Christmas, you got too drunk again. 5 golden showers on your clothes or bed. Oh no, we are not doing pee-pee stories today. People want to hear the truth. If you're so into pee-pee stories, you tell one. Once upon a time, I peed in this old lady's red shoe. Then I kicked it under the bed. She looked everywhere for it, but I didn't help her at all. The end. My red shoe's under the bed, isn't it? You're welcome. My name's Sue, I'm an alcoholic. My name's Liam, I'm a drug addict. I drank and used for 25 years, been clean and sober for 18. We're just here to make suggestions, share tips that we use to stay in recovery. If you like what we're doing, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified about upcoming content, hit the bell button. Let's focus today on how the open bar at Christmas parties was a guaranteed blackout for me. Worst thing about the blackout is the pop quiz the next day. I know, right? Before you even get a cup of coffee. Question number 1. Where am I? Question number 2. Am I alone? What happened last night? Did I piss anybody off? Any blood or chunks in my hair? Is the car in the driveway? Any blood or chunks in the grill of the car? I flunked that quiz 100 times. It is in your face, terrifying, gut-wrenching, nauseating. Let's never take that test again. Let's just not drink or use today, and we're guaranteed to not have to take the test in the morning. One day at a time. How are you going to Christmas party like an alcoholic without your booze? Parties with strangers are still totally out of my comfort zone. I feel way more awkward on the inside than I look on the outside. Hopefully. One thing I do is always have an exit plan. I either drive myself or I ride with someone who understands that I might need to leave at a moment's notice and they're willing to leave. Willing to let me drive the car if they've had something to drink. I take cab fare in case that has to be my plan B. Sounds like you're obsessed with getting away from people. What happened to your party with a purpose? Go with a heart to serve others. Safeguarding my recovery has to come first. If I'm not sober, I can't be of service to anyone. If the party gets too weird, I have to be able to step away. Weird? Like how? It's weird if people get incoherently drunk. If anything I do or say is going to be ineffectual, then there's no service work for me to do. You could hold someone's hair back while they hug the toilet and puke their guts out. Sometimes people get drunk and it's no big deal, but if they're super drunk, it's no good for me to hang out there. Are you scared you'll drink if you stay? Temptation to drink has been lifted for me, thank you Lord, thank you Lord. But drinking wasn't my problem. It was a symptom of my deeper problems. Like what? Like squirming around in my own skin, feeling awkward and twisting off in my own head. That was what caused me to drink in the first place. So that's what I need to monitor and manage today. You're boring me with your vague hypotheticals. Okay, specific examples, specific story. Me, 2 other comics, booker of the comedy show. Afterparty, just the 4 of us at a bar. Remember last week when I talked about partying with a purpose? Well, my purpose at this party was totally convoluted. I was kind of new to comedy, so I was still on the lookout for that career-launching connection. The other comics and the booker had worked together for years, so I felt like a total outsider. They're all dudes, which brings its own loaded baggage. Because my stage act, which is loaded with sexual innuendo, has been misinterpreted in the past. And they're all drinking a lot. And all that made you want to drink too? No, but I'm really squirming in my discomfort at this point. They're getting drunker and drunker, especially the booker, who, by the way, drove us all to this party. And I'm super tired and getting more and more anxious about getting out of there, about how I'm going to get back safely. It's exhausting me trying to decipher their unintelligible language and trying to understand their inside jokes. All that brain chaos is what could make me want to drink again. So what did you do? I got out of there. I didn't have a plan, but I came up with an exit plan quick. I called a taxi, came back and told them, thank you, early morning for me tomorrow, carry on, I have a ride. And what did they do? They partied on, no big deal. I was the only one that was having a big deal. Wow, feels like we barely scratched the surface. Again, surprise. How to party like an alcoholic without drinking. It's a huge topic. We'll just have to keep working on unpacking it next week. I don't mind. Hope you don't either. Thanks for coming.